We are here again to take you Civic as a subject. But if you've not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. Share our videos so that other people will be aware of what we do here on this channel. We love you. We are your community and we want your progress educationally. Today we want to talk about law and its types. What is law in a general term? First, we want to explain what is law, and based on citizenship or civic education, we'll define what law is. Law is a system of rules that are created and enforced through social or government institutions to regulate behavior. Government puts up laws to regulate behavior of people. A society cannot exist without law, because there's going to be problem. There's bound to be problem in the society. So government puts in these laws to regulate behavior in order for the people that reside in that particular society to abide to. Then law equally can be a kind of regulatory body that ensures that individuals in a community adhere to the will of the states. The individuals in a particular community adhere to the will of the state. It equally implies that they have to lay down rules and regulations as stipulated by the states. But in line with civic education or citizenship education, what is law? We understand law as a command or set of rules and regulations made by the legislature of a state or a country, within which a rule of action or a principle of conduct is prescribed, and for which every citizen of the state or country obeys, whether it's under pain or punishment. So our use of law here is that which enforced by the courts established for that purpose. The court is established to enforce this law under this purpose. So law in general, particularly in civic or citizenship education, is a set of command, a set of rules and regulations made by the legislature, by the state, or by the country, within which individuals, citizens, live. And these laws are meant to govern their welfare. The government or the legislature or the state puts in this law in order to enforce it so that whoever go against it can be punished. In that way, people will agree to abide by it. Sometimes some might not. That is why punishment might be meted out for these individuals. Having known what law is, based on law in general and based in our subject, civic education or citizenship education, whichever one you choose. Civic is used for those in the primary, secondary, but citizenship is used majorly for those in the tertiary institution. Now, what are the types of laws? Maybe I'm going to itemize them here and we'll take it. Types of laws. One, we have private law. Two, public law. Three, criminal. Four, administrative. Administrative law. 5, law based on geographical location. And then the sixth one, law based on subject area. These are the types of law we are going to discuss: private law, public law, criminal law, administrative law, law based on geographical location, law based on subject area. We're going to take them one after the other. The private law typically covers businesses, property, or any agreement between two parties. Under this private law, we have law that covers individuals, two parties that have conflicts. Under this law, we have law covering a business. Like I told you, we have memorandum of association. This is a kind of set down rules. Now, we have, it's equally a law that covers a property or a house. This is where the copyright kind of law and the trademark kind of law comes into play. Employers, employee, contracts, and the rest of them fall under this private law. So this law covers our private life, covers our businesses, covers conflicts within individuals or within individuals and businesses. This is what this private law is all about. And another thing is that it primarily concerns itself with the rights and duties of individuals towards each other. In this case, the legal process is governed by the state. The state provides citizens ways to resolve their dispute. So under this private law, the state provides a citizenry ways to resolve their conflict, either as individuals, either as business entities, either as organizational bodies. This is the law that covers that kind of domain, or will I say that's part of our life. So that is what the private law is all about. Now what about the public law? The public law, this is called the kind of relationship that exists between the state and its citizens. A kind of law that covers the state where you belong and the citizen. So this is a law that covers the state and its citizens. And in case where individuals have problem with the state, this law, it's where the case is handled, and under this law, it's where it's fall. Under this law, that's where we have the criminal law. This is where this, under the public law, the criminal law is an offshoot of that. And then we have the constitutional law, equally come from the public law. So the public law brought about criminal law and constitutional law. That is law that is covered in the constitution of a state. That is where this public law comes in. So majorly, public law has to do with law that affects the state and its citizenry. Then we go to criminal law. This deals with everything criminal activity. Rape, robbery, any vices you can talk about in the society. This violence, this criminal law take care of it. And criminal law equally take care of those who do not want to pay tax, those who want to run away from paying their taxes, those who are owing the state. The criminal law take care of that. So number 4 is administrative law. Administrative law are laws established by different government agencies, like Agency for Retirement and Pension, Child Abuse, and Women Trafficking or Child Trafficking. So this kind of law laws that government agency put in place to govern its members or its agency. And it also deals with complaint of individuals against the decision of the administering agency. So this is particularly a law governing agency, government agency. Then we go to law based on geographical location. For example, the aviation kind of law, those who are taking care of airliners, or we have the pilots, law governing those people who are working on such sectors, or law governing those on the maritime, that's those who are working in the sea, marine. There are laws, there are rules and regulations governing its operation, like the vessels, the ships and passengers, the law governing these individuals. This is what we call law based on geographical location. Then we'll have the sixth one, law based on subject area. Just as the name implies, the subject area. There are laws, educational law. Like in education, we have educational laws. Then we have medical laws that governs those in the medical field. We equally have laws that govern those in the law industry. What about the entertainment industry? There are laws governing this individual. So, just like the name implies, law based on subject area, law that is governing those within a subject area, whether in mathematics, whether in education, whether in law, whether in medical science, or whichever field you find yourself, there is always rules, regulation governing these individuals. This is this kind of law. So having mentioned the six type of law that I mentioned here on the board, and we've explained it: the private law, the public, the criminal, administrative law, law based on geographical location, law based on subject area. We are going to the next one. The difference is between public law, public, and private law. That's what we're going to take. Now, what are the differences? Number one difference is concerning the scope. The criminal law is a law that governs the, laws that governs individual in a state that commits a particular offense. But when we come to the private law has to do with law that governs individual person or organizations. So why this one has to do with those who commit a particular offense, the other one has to do with individuals or organizational bodies. Then another one is that criminal law is to prevent people from committing a crime, and it helps to enforce and punish those who commit such crime. Why the purpose of private law, civic law, is to remedy the wrong supposed to have suffered by an individual. Then we go further to another difference. What is another difference? Then another difference is that in criminal law, cases is so serious that the standard of proof is higher than in civil cases. Evidence to show that this individual committed a particular crime is very high. It's not like that in private law. The evidence needed under the private law may not be as serious as that which is required by the criminal law, which is the public law. Remember I told you that the public law have an offshoot of criminal and constitutional law. So it requires higher evidence under the public law, while the private law requires lesser evidence than those in the public kind of law. Then in criminal proceeding, if the accused is found guilty, he is punished with either death, offense, fines, and then imprisonment. In criminal law, the offender will either be killed, pay fine, or be imprisoned. But in private law, it's not like that. The penalty involved cannot get up to that kind of degree. The individual in the court will be awarded appropriate remedy like financial compensation, or the case might be enjoined for another hearing. So that's another difference. Then, the terminology used in criminal proceedings is different from the one used in civil or private kind of law. They don't use the same terminology. We'll have the defendant, liable, not liable, and the rest of the term. So they don't use the same time at the same time. The criminal kind of law uses a different term, while the public law uses a different term. The private uses a different term, the public uses a different term in case of judgment. Then, while there is no presumption in civil proceedings, an accused in criminal proceeding is presumed innocent until the contrary is proved. All of these are differences that can be found in public and private law. Number one, I told you the terminology used are different. Number two, I told you is that the evidence required for a public law and a private law are not of the same degree. Then, the offenses or the degree of punishment for a criminal law is different from the degree of punishment for a public law. For a criminal law, the individual can be fined, the individual can be imprisoned, or the individual can be sentenced to death. Why the case is not that much in private law? Private law, the person can pay a fine, or the case might be enjoined for another sitting. So all of these are the differences that exist between the public and the private law. So this will be it for law and its types. We've seen the types of law, we've seen what law is all about, we've seen the difference between the public and the private law. So until next time, when we take another topic on Civic, we're happy to be with you. Remember, I told you, if you've not subscribed, subscribe, share our videos. We are happy to be here. Give us a comment below the comment box so that we know how to serve you better. And you tell us, what is the challenge you are facing academically? We are ready to help you. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you for being part of us.